Squid Game Season 3 could have ended in a lot of different ways, so today we'll take a look what would have happened if Jun-Hee survived until the finals, just to be brutally betrayed by the one person she thought she could trust, Myung-gi. Lee Myung-gi was once a rising figure in South Korea's crypto scene. Known for his YouTube channel MG Coin, he gained popularity by giving investment advice, particularly in the world of cryptocurrency. Charismatic, persuasive, and seemingly knowledgeable, Myung-gi built a strong following online, attracting both novice investors and those looking for fast wealth. In early 2024, Myung-gi began dating Kim Jun-Hee, a quiet but determined woman. Their relationship turned serious, and not long after, Jun-Hee became pregnant. Around this time, Myung-gi began promoting a new cryptocurrency called Dalmatian, a flashy, seemingly promising project. He urged everyone around him to invest, including Jun-Hee, but Dalmatian turned out to be a scam. The people behind it vanished with all the money, and over 15.2 billion won was lost. Investors were devastated, and Myung-gi became the face of the fraud. Facing criminal charges, public outrage, and massive debt, he disappeared for 6 months. Jun-Hee, abandoned and pregnant, believed he might have been killed. On September 1st, 2024, Myung-gi was approached by the salesman in a subway station. After a game of dedokji, he was handed a mysterious invitation card. Desperate and drowning in 1.8 billion won of debt, he accepted. Myung-gi entered the 37th Squid Game, hoping to win back everything he lost. But what he didn't know was that Jun-Hee had also received the same card, and she was waiting for him inside. Kim Jun-Hee's life has been a quiet battle for survival. Orphaned young and left with no family to fall back on, she learned early how to navigate the world alone. Reserved but quietly strong, she built a life for herself piece by piece, only to have it shattered in an instant. By early 2024, Jun-Hee found herself facing an unexpected and life-changing challenge. Pregnancy, with no partner by her side, no support network, and little money left after a devastating investment. Her only goal became protecting the child growing inside her. Despite the pressure to end the pregnancy, she refused. She would face it and everything else on her own. When a stranger approached her in a public space offering a strange game and a promise of money, she saw more than just desperation. She saw a slim chance at hope. Jun-Hee, skilled and composed, beat the recruiter at his own game of dedokji and earned an invitation. With mounting medical bills and nowhere else to turn, she accepted. Once inside the Squid Game, Jun-Hee carried more than just fear or debt. She carried a child, a reason to keep breathing. But what she never expected was to come face to face with someone she thought was long gone, a ghost from her past and the father of her unborn baby. The arena wasn't just a death match. For Jun-Hee, it became a battlefield of betrayal, survival, and the fight for a future her child might never see. Everything happens exactly as the series until the 4th game. Players are taken to the gumball machine room where they receive either a red or blue ball, deciding their teams. Jun-Hee gets red, Myung-gi gets blue. Before the game starts, they switch. Jun-Hee becomes blue, Myung-gi red. Myung-gi promises to protect her, but will he? Jun-Hee teams up with Hyun-ju and Gyum-ja, forming an alliance. Meanwhile, Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu also ally. Before entering the maze, Nam-Gyu convinces Myung-gi that killing raises the prize pool, that they could leave rich beyond their dreams. Myung-gi, fueled by greed, agrees. As the red team hunts, Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu tear through the maze, killing without hesitation. Myung-gi forgets his promise, he only sees money. Jun-Hee gives birth during the chaos. Hyun-ju and Gyum-ja guard her and the baby. The baby's cry echoes. Nam-Gyu and Myung-gi finds them. Nam-Gyu bursts into laughter. Myung-gi stands silent, considering whether to kill Hyun-ju, Gyum-ja, or all of them. He spares Jun-Hee but eyes Gyum-ja. She's old. Easy money. He and Nam-Gyu move in, but Hyun-ju blocks them with a knife. She defends fiercely, shoving them back. Jun-Hee sobs, asking Myung-gi why. He replies, "If we kill her, we get more prize money. We could raise the baby in luxury. Jun-Hee calls him selfish. Jung-ja and Hyun-ju freeze, realizing he's the baby's father. Then, in the moment no one expects, Nam-Gyu lunges at Hyun-ju. She stabs him, but Myung-gi takes the chance. He stabs Hyun-ju multiple times in the chest. Jung-ja is frozen in horror. The baby cries. The game ends and they survive, except for Hyun-ju and Young-sik, who sadly couldn't kill anybody and didn't find his mother to even say goodbye. Trust is dead. After the game, Geum-ja and Jun-Hee return to the dorms to care for the newborn. Geum-ja speaks briefly with Gi-hun. Jun-Hee, however, keeps her distance from Myung-gi. No eye contact, no words. She's disgusted by him now. Myung-gi notices but doesn't care anymore. He stays allied with Nam-Gyu. Even after the fourth game, Nam-Gyu continues to brainwash him, telling him that all of this is worth it and that with a bit more bloodshed they could leave the games with the full prize. Myung-gi agrees. With Jun-Hee turning her back on him, he drops all pretense of caring. His only focus now is the money. He convinces himself that if he wins, he can say it was to support the baby, but deep down he's willing to do anything to win. Maybe even kill Jun-Hee or the baby. The next morning, the dorms are silent. Geum-ja is found dead, hanging from a high bed. She never recovered from Young-sik's death and felt guilty for not even being able to say goodbye. Witnessing Hyun-ju's death only pushed her further over the edge. Jun-Hee breaks down in tears. Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu watch, almost pleased. Another death meant more prize money. The fifth game begins. Jump rope. Players are brought to a massive arena. 2 platforms separated by a bridge with a large gap in the middle. If you fall, you die. No one dares go first. Myung-gi convinces Nam-Gyu to go together so they can eliminate others and claim all the winnings. Nam-Gyu, terrified of heights, hesitates but agrees. Myung-gi helps him cross, yelling encouragement. They struggle at the gap but make it across. The crowd cheers except for Jun-Hee and Gi-hun. One by one, players begin crossing. Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu start pushing others off the bridge. Panic spreads. Some players refuse to advance and others fall from exhaustion. Eventually, player 203 lunges at them, knocking them down. The rest of the players take the opportunity to rush forward and finish the game. Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu give up for now and move aside, promising not to interfere again. With 5 minutes left, only Gi-hun and Jun-Hee remain. Gi-hun offers to carry the baby and help Jun-Hee across, not by carrying her, but by guiding her. Jun-Hee, with no better option, agrees. Together they begin crossing the bridge. They hesitate at the gap but manage to make it across. Just as they near the end, Myung-gi stands up, breaking his promise. Nam-Gyu watches curiously as Myung-gi approaches. Gi-hun steps onto the final platform and reaches for Jun-Hee's hand. But before she can join him, Myung-gi shoves him hard to the ground. Jun-Hee stares at him, a tear falling down her cheek. Myung-gi looks into her eyes and kicks her off the bridge into the void. Gasps echo across the arena. Nam-Gyu bursts into wild laughter. Myung-gi turns back around. The game is over. This time, the finalists are not so many. There are 5 O players and 2 X players. The only X's are Gi-hun and an extra. Myung-gi and Nam-Gyu form part of the O team, along with more extras. The first round begins, and the O's immediately suggest killing the baby, believing it's the safest move. But Gi-hun holds onto her tightly and tells them that if they want to kill the baby, they'll have to kill him too. That would mean killing one another in the next rounds. The O's hesitate, then forget about Gi-hun and the baby for now, and instead kill the extra X first. One gone. The second round starts and chaos erupts. The O's realize they now have no other option but to try and take the baby to kill her. Myung-gi lunges for her, but it's impossible. Gi-hun has a sharp knife and refuses to let go of the child. He's a wall of rage and desperation. Nam-Gyu suddenly loses control and runs straight at Gi-hun to throw him off the edge. But Gi-hun sidesteps with eerie calm. Nam-Gyu slips, stumbles, and falls into the void below. Myung-gi is stunned. He rushes to the edge and looks down, speechless, watching his closest ally disappear. The round ends. They prepare for round 3. Myung-gi looks at the remaining players. There are too many. The prize money is still too low for him. He changes tactics. He approaches Gi-hun, pretending to ally with him. Gripping the metal pole tightly, he starts a fight. Brutally, one by one, the other O's are eliminated. By the time the dust settles, only Myung-gi, Gi-hun, and the baby remain. The final round begins. Myung-gi immediately attacks Gi-hun, but he's clearly outmatched. He grows desperate. Seeing no other way, he sprints toward the baby and snatches her up, holding her over the edge of the platform. He threatens to drop her into the void unless Gi-hun backs off. Gi-hun freezes, begging him to stop. Myung-gi looks down at the newborn, then back at Gi-hun. He smirks. "Wow," he says coldly. "Now I realize, thanks to the baby, I can win extra money." Gi-hun's eyes widen. He knows what's coming. Without hesitation, Myung-gi lets go. The baby falls. Silence. He has just killed his own daughter. Gi-hun stands frozen, a scream stuck in his throat. Then rage takes over. He sobs, trembles, and his body begins to move on instinct. Myung-gi runs to press the round's start button, but before he can do anything else, Gi-hun is behind him, too late to react. Gi-hun grabs him violently with a grip like iron. Myung-gi struggles, but he can't break free. Gi-hun stares into his eyes, burning, broken, and determined. Then he charges. With one final cry, Gi-hun sprints forward and throws himself off the edge, dragging Myung-gi with him. Both vanish into the void. The round ends. No winner, no survivor.